Check this out. At no point will a child of mine get any support from me that's gay. I don't care how you...
8-year-old Gabriel Fernandez, and just like the man that we just heard a couple seconds ago, his mother and stepfather could not accept him for being gay. And as a result of that, he is no longer amongst the living, right? Rhetoric like this is so toxic, and it really pisses me off when I hear it coming from the mouths of black people. When we get up and we march in these streets and talk about Black Lives Matter, when we talk about black men being abused and unjustly unalived by officers, and we turn around and we do this, at some point the lights have to come on. It's just simply not okay. If you're interested in learning more about Gabriel, there's an entire Netflix documentary that I highly suggest you watch. It talks about the failures in the educational system, the failures in the criminal justice system, the failures in social services. Definitely watch this documentary to get more insight. I promise you, you will be moved. From Gabriel, let's talk about Martin Blackwell out of Atlanta, who was dating a woman who had a gay son. The gay son and the mother cohabitated. Martin happened to be there as well while the gay son and his current partner were asleep in the living room. While they were sleeping, Mr. Blackwell went into the kitchen, put on a pot of boiling water, scalding boiling water, went back into the living room as they slept, and doused them in boiling water in their sleep, causing them to get third-degree burns. This is what homophobia and rhetoric, like we heard at the beginning of this video, does. Also coming out of Atlanta is a case of a young man who was deemed effeminate by his brother and sister, where they pulled on a camera and abused him on film, punching him and actually carving slurs into the side of his head, uploaded the video onto social media. This is how comfortable they were in their homophobia, that they knew uploading it was the right thing to do to make a point and an example of this young man on social media. They then circled back around and forced him to get on social media and make an apology video, basically saying that it wasn't what we saw when it was exactly what we saw. Again, this is what hate speech and rhetoric like we saw at the beginning of this video does, and why it's so important to be conscious about the messages and the energy that we put out, because they do have real life ramifications and real life repercussions. And the kids that we say that we want to protect are being harmed by this type of verbiage, and it needs to stop. And last but not least, we have a case coming out of San Antonio, Texas, where a man was just sentenced to 2 years in prison for repeatedly slapping and abusing a 2-year-old. Yes, I said 2 because he believed that the 2-year-old was gay or effeminate. And it's just so sad that we see this happening on the continuum from people of color, right? From people of color who are consistently abused, systematically abused, if you will, and yet and still do not have the awareness or the wherewithal to recognize when they themselves become the abusers, when they themselves become the perpetrators of hate speech. I say all this to say, if and when the time comes that you decide to have children, worry less about their sexuality and more about their character. You want to make sure that you are creating kind, loving, empathetic, just good people, right? People that want to give back and they want to help and make the world a better place. And believe it or not, your sexuality does not play a role in that. Who you love does not play a role in that. Your gender identity does not play a role in that. And I know patriarchy is hard to break, but at some point, the lights have to come on, and you have to realize that no child will make a choice to want to be abused. Children want to be loved, appreciated, valued, and protected by their parents. And if you don't feel that you can convey unconditional love to a child, then maybe you should reconsider even having one. I'll see you in the next video.